friends and family. Welcome to Cicely Verdani, your home for spiritual insight and entertainment. My name is Courtney of Cicely Verdani. Today we're getting into a juicy reading entitled, What Are People Currently Noticing About You? There are two piles to choose from. Pile number 1, Healing from the Past. Pile number 2, Windfall. Take a moment to decide which one resonates most with you, or if they both resonate, you can listen to the entire reading. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content here. And if you'd like to enter for a chance to win a free reading, just make sure to subscribe and comment down below to enter to win. There's more information in the description box, and the timestamps are also in the description box below. I'll see you in your pile. Hello, Pile 1. If you chose Healing from the Past from my Butterfly Oracle deck, this is your reading about what people are currently noticing about you. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to enter for a chance to win a free one-on-one reading with me once we reach 1,000 subscribers here on our channel. Let's get right into it. Okay, so as I was shuffling your cards, the first message that I was receiving is people are noticing that you're no longer holding back. You have this newfound boldness and confidence about you, decisiveness, and it's really a transformative energy, pile number 1. I feel that your reliance on your own mindset, because you've had to work on your mindset so much, is something that you have a lot of confidence in, and it's because it didn't come naturally to you. You had to develop this mindset, and you utilized your inner voice as well as your intellect together in order to develop this mentality. And this mentality and these principles that you've developed from within yourself are your guiding force. And so they help you to maintain sustained energy and drive. Because I feel like in the past, you would hold yourself back because you had a lot of internal confusion and turmoil because you weren't necessarily sure which direction you were headed. But now that you've flushed those things out within yourself, flushed those things out within yourself, you have this newfound leadership quality and ability to you. And people see you as someone who can stand alone, but they actually really want to model themselves after you, and they really want to interact with you in a way to where you are some kind of mentor or some kind of leader in their life. All right, let's get into the tarot. What are people noticing about my pile number 1s? What are people noticing about my pile number 1s? One card at a time, please. What are people noticing about my pile number 1s? What is the highest divine truth about what people are noticing about my pile number 1s? People are noticing that maybe you used to be a lot more emotional and sentimental, and they realize that you're utilizing your intelligence a lot more and your mental capacity. But they see that you have strong capabilities when it comes to emotional intelligence, but that maybe you didn't have the proper. It's like maybe you felt too connected on an emotional and energetic level, and it would weigh you down in the past to your environment. So whatever environment you were a part of, it would or whoever you were connected to, you would take on their negative energy, but you've learned how to kind of cleanse your energy and cleanse your emotions. And so now you're able to incorporate your emotions along with your logic and along with your own set of principles and your own really clear and defined goals. in order to manifest and create things very powerfully and potently. And they see that you've been able to kind of integrate both parts of yourself, and instead of your emotional, energetic, or empathetic nature being something that worked against you, now it's become your strength. Please clarify. And they see you kind of boasting a lot of confidence, but not boasting in a negative sense, but just really being able to express a lot of confidence. Whereas in the past, you may have been a bit more withdrawn. You may have come across as shy, whether you were shy or not. You were just weary of connecting because you knew intuitively that when you were connecting with others, oh, my candle just blew out. When you were connecting with others, it would be really heavy for you. And so they see that now you've learned how to balance that and leverage that. And it's almost like you had to learn the hard way that not everyone had your best interest at heart, even though you did. And that sometimes your energy and your emotions and your loyalty and your love were not reciprocated. And once you learn that, you're able now to stand in your own power in such a way where your giving nature is something that you're empowered by rather than something that is a burden to you. Please clarify Ace of Cups. What are people noticing about my pile number ones? Please clarify Release. Please clarify the Magician. What are people noticing about my pile number ones? People find it people find it easier, the right people find it easier now to connect with you than they did in the past, because in the past, where you didn't understand how to navigate your emotional landscape and your energy and the energies of others, it made you have a bit of a detachment with everyone around you, but it still wasn't the proper boundary that was necessary. It was just like this, there was just this barrier to connecting deeply and intimately with you. Although people could see that you were a deep, intimate, and emotional person, they felt like there was just some blockage to getting in. And for the right people, they still kept planting the seeds and giving to you, even though they felt like they weren't able to connect. And they see that the tides are turning to where now that you've learned how to release the people who aren't really worth your time, the people who are intentionally taking advantage of your giving nature, you've learned how to let those people go. So now you're able to really open up and be free and open and connect with the people who are worth your energy. And so people are really noticing that you kind of drawn a line in the sand, and it's very clear who I was getting like a curse word, but who you're friends with and who you're not friends with. And so now, whereas before they felt like just this deep but also vulnerable emotional energy around you, now they feel a deep and wise and kind of cultivated sense of caring. And though you still don't overly express your emotional nature, people feel so loved and cared for in your presence. and a very select few, they do get to see the uninhibited, full, vulnerable side of yourself. But it's not so vulnerable that people can just hurt you. And another thing I'm getting, people are noticing that you've always been spiritually protected, because even at your most vulnerable state, that energy that I'm feeling, that was kind of what they felt was a barrier, it was actually spiritual protection. So you had this energetic and spiritual protection from the divine that was helping you, giving you the time and space to mature and navigate your emotional landscape on your own without having to deal with too harsh of circumstances. And so that's why even the people who were wanting to give to you and wanting to be reciprocal, even they felt that barrier, because it wasn't just about people who wanted to harm you. It was also about just external energies in general. Because you are so energetically sensitive, because you are so emotionally sensitive, you just take on anything and everything. And so now you have this understanding about how to actually decipher those energies, how to work with them, how to use them to improve your own life and to help others. So you have this really deep skill and talent and understanding that came with this period of energetic isolation. Even if you weren't technically isolated, there was this energetic boundary around you, and people are noticing that really paid off, and that now you know how to kind of move that boundary where it's necessary for each of your relationships and connections and situations. What are people noticing about my pile number ones? What are people noticing about my pile number ones? What are people noticing about my pile number ones? Please clarify 3 of Cups. Please clarify the Hermit and 7 of Swords. Please clarify Champion of Cups. People are noticing that you no longer have time for murky situations, for uncertainty, for frivolous connections in your life. But people may also be noticing that you don't, I'm picking up on people who, the camp of people who kind of didn't make the cut. And so they're realizing that you don't have time for them anymore. But it's also that you've kind of done away with your frivolous mentality. But in doing that, they see that your life is even more free and even more light and emotionally liberated than when you had these frivolous energies in your life, whether they were learned behaviors that you were perpetuating or whether they were external forces and other people bringing frivolous energy into your life. Now that you've done away with that, people see that you're actually really free and emotionally liberated. And you have so much authority over the kind of energy that comes into your life. And it's basically if it's not in alignment with liberation and abundance and peace, then it doesn't belong in my space. It's ironic because I think people who are in your life now, who are close to you, they see how spiritually elevated you are. They see that you know that you're connected with everyone at all times. You don't discriminate. You understand boundaries on a higher level, that it's not that you can ever actually disconnect yourself from anything. People are noticing that you have healed from the past. You've forgiven the past. You have learned how to acknowledge your own shortcomings and your own kind of negative behaviors that were perpetuating negative cycles in the past. You've forgiven yourself for that. You've discontinued those behaviors, but you've also integrated those experiences in that just because, you have left toxic patterns in the past doesn't mean that they weren't a part of your journey, and it doesn't mean that you're better than anyone or better than your past self. It's a part of you, and you're able to release it in peace and have discernment rather than judgment. You're discerning because you've integrated those experiences. It's only because you've had those experiences and because you've accepted them as part of yourself and your experience and recognized authentically that you want to have different experiences. You want to have more elevated experiences and experiences that are more aligned with your soul's desires. It's because you've recognized that you're able to not have to deal with those patterns anymore. So people are noticing your spiritual and emotional maturity. All right. Any final... Well, let's get the animal oracle message, and then we'll get any final messages if needed after that. What are people noticing about my pile number 1s? Love this card. Cow, nourishment, number 3. Bottom of the deck, sensuality, gecko, number 33. So 3s are very prevalent. You have the 3 of cups here. Let's read it. Oh man, can't see the... Trying to get it all in the frame. Number 3, cow, nourishment. You already know what you need in order to grow. A symbol of complete nourishment, the cow is a beautiful talisman of nature, motherhood, and wisdom. A sacred species amongst the Hindu culture, the cow is worshipped for being a sustainer of life in so many ways. The cow is another gentle herbivore that is a true warrior of the landscape. She draws on her innate abilities to create and nurture other life, as well as continually doing the same for her own. With their anatomy consisting of 4 stomach chambers, their systems are adapted to be able to draw the most nutrients from their food as it enters through their system. A cow's digested food undergoes many more processes than a human system, thus being a great example to us that it is often not important what we choose to nourish ourselves with, but more about how we break it down and process it for our own growth and development. We can draw parallels to this with the things we choose to feed us, both the positive and the negative. They teach us that even though life can be filled with challenges, it is what we choose to draw from it that accounts for how we choose to shape ourselves throughout life. We heavily rely on this creature for our own modern lifestyles, yet when we shift our attention from what they can offer us in body and see that they are much more than milk, skin, and meat. We discover that they're actually teachers of making the most of what we have. As a true Earth Mother teacher, and how to nurture our creative selves. Cows have such a special bond with their offspring, who are nurtured through their beautiful milk for up to a year. They show us that it is so important to nurture our creations, to raise them in love, protection, and selflessness, and that this in turn nourishes our own soul. Cows, although a common symbol for physical nourishment globally, can also show us that to discover the key to whole nutrition, we must focus on strengthening our bond with our creative, physical, and spiritual selves, and that the best way to do this is to follow our own natural instincts and earthly wisdom. Interesting. So this brings kind of an added element of creativity to your message. And when we go back to the Magician, this is a lot about creativity. It's about using all of the elements at your disposal to create something from nothing. We have these infinity signs present here. And the universe is the ultimate creation. And we are part of the creation. We are given authority to create as we were created, to perpetuate that creation infinitely. So I see people recognizing how resourceful you are and how you have utilized your life as a creative venture. And even the Three of Cups with the Emperor, it's showing that you take the spiritual, you take the emotional, and you create something of structure out of it, which can be some kind of creative field. But they recognize, people are noticing that it's only through your spiritual reflection and growth that you're able to successfully make your dreams into a reality, whether that's a spiritual venture, a creative venture, or whatever have you. They see that you are actually following through and accomplishing your goals, your greatest dreams. You're creating them from thin air, and they recognize that you've had to take the good with the bad, utilize the challenges, integrate the challenges, and use them as paint, use them as tools towards, use that energy as fuel towards this lifestyle. So I'm getting a lot of energy, this energy about being, they're noticing that you're so connected with the universe. You're at one. You're at one with yourself. People are noticing that when they're in your presence, they feel that connection with the universe. Sorry for the noise in the background. People are noticing that you've learned how valuable that is, how valuable your energy is, how valuable your presence is. They're noticing that it's come from the work that you've done on yourself to nourish yourself and to nurture your soul. And they're noticing that as you've learned how powerful and valuable it is, you're also learning how to commodify it in a sense. So cows are actually like very exploited. And people are noticing that you're not allowing yourself to be exploited anymore because you understand how valuable you are. You understand and you care and you want to give of yourself. But you're definitely exploring a sense of reciprocity and liberation from the chains of people pleasing. And so now you give with discernment. And it's made all the difference. And it's made you shine. That's what I have for you, pile number 1, for what people are noticing about you. Let me know down in the comments how it resonated. I'm looking forward to a chance to have a one-on-one reading with you. So if you would like a free one, go ahead and comment below, just making sure you're subscribed and letting me know that you'd like that chance. And I'll see you on our next reading. Bye. Hi, pile 2. If you chose Windfall from the Butterfly Oracle deck, this is your reading about what are people currently noticing about you. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe to support this channel. And if you'd like to enter for a chance to win a free reading, just make sure you're subscribed and comment down below letting me know. Let's get right into it. All right, pile number 2. First thing, when I was shuffling your cards, I see that people are noticing that you are driven by your passion. Your passion helps you to understand what things are worth your time, what things are not worth your time, it guides you to information that's going to help you reach new heights and to know what your next steps are in life. And it's just pure drive. For some of you, it's ambition. For others of you, it's this pursuit of knowledge and this pursuit of wisdom. It's like a journey. And then for others of you, for a lot of you, it's going to be like ambition, wanting to develop and create more for yourself. Let's get more details about it. What are people currently noticing about my pile 2s? What are people currently noticing about my pile 2s? What are people currently noticing? You are someone who, you don't have to have everything figured out in order to take action. What are people noticing about my pile number 2s? And it's this audaciousness that's helped you to overcome a lot of challenges in your life, and that's bringing you to this new beginning. It's either a new beginning or kind of you've been able to reap rewards from your efforts over time. So people are noticing that this current stage in your life is garnering a lot of abundance, either spiritually, mentally, financially. For a lot of you, it will be financially, or just like the expansion of your world. People are also noticing that there are a lot of hidden aspects to you. You may come across as someone who's a lot more, maybe like a fire sign energy, just pure energy, pure action. But like with Sagittarius, for example, yeah, they can be impulsive. They can kind of connect on a superficial level if they want to, they're actually very deep. There's so much insight and wisdom in there. So people are noticing that there's more to you. There's a lot more to you than meets the eye. Yeah, people are noticing that for you, it's about the journey. You don't have to have everything figured out, but you know intuitively when to take action. You know it in your body. There's just this impulse. There's just this drive. It's like, I'm really interested in this, so I'm going to study it as much as I can, or I'm going to delve into this community that can, really like harbor and cultivate and foster this desire I have to learn or to create this business. So you really just join in full steam ahead, and you can't be told because you just know that that's what's right for you. So you may have had like a pretty alternative kind of path when it comes to your road towards success. You didn't follow the most common beaten path or the roadmap that people were urging you to. So you may be seen as rebellious by some people, but people notice that it's because it's the impact of the drive that carries you forward, and it's helping people to learn and notice within their own self that, oh, maybe it's not about like doing what I'm supposed to do. Maybe it's about having the drive to do something with my whole heart. And when I do that, because they see you've had a lot of struggles, it hasn't been easy, but you had the drive to push through it because that's what you were passionate about. So maybe it's helping people to reassess, wow, like I put my energy into this, but it's very half-hearted, not really into it. And so they're trying to understand, okay, what am I actually really passionate about and interested in? And how can I incorporate that? Because maybe that's where my success lies. You're opening up this sense of wonder, this sense of dreaming, like being able to follow your dreams and assess your subconscious mind and to look at life as a little bit more of a journey versus, you go through school, you do your best, you go to college, you start your job, you go and get your master's degree, you get married, just the like ticking all the boxes of what people think success is. People are starting to reassess what success means to them just by looking at you. Because in the past, maybe they thought that, oh my goodness, like they were worried for you or they were judging you. And they were like, this person is just so audacious, and they just didn't know how to take it. But now they're recognizing that it's worked out for you because that audacity gave you the energy to keep pushing forward, to, apply trial and error to your ambition. And it's just a numbers game. If you keep trying at something, eventually you're going to reap some kind of reward from it. Please clarify 7 of Wands. And the joy and beauty of that is if you're doing what you love, you never want to quit anyways. You're happy to work hard if it's something that you love. Please clarify Seven of Wands. 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 Yep. Your ship has finally come. Please clarify Ten of Swords. Yeah, people are noticing you're just on cloud nine. Now, it's smooth sailing from here. It's like you did the hard work and now you're coasting. And you have benefits to share. Like, people literally, they're noticing that you're living your dream life. You went through all the hardships, took it like a champ. It's like it didn't even affect you. It's like it didn't even affect you. Especially if anyone like tried to make you stumble intentionally. Because they were intimidated by your audacity, your audaciousness, your work ethic, your energy. Because you have a lot of energy, pile number 2. Like, you can just go. And people were intimidated by it, and so maybe they tried to dampen it. But it's like it never even happened. And not only have you overcome to this wondrous like dream life, but you still are generous. Like, you have more than enough to give of yourself. Like, it's like it didn't even tire you out one bit. What are people noticing about my pile number 2s? What are people noticing about my pile? Yeah, you work really hard, pile 2. What are people noticing about my pile 2s? Excuse me. Let's clarify 3 of Pentacles. I'm so sorry. Please don't start hiccups, please. What are people noticing about my pile 2s? What are people noticing about my pile 2s? You're your own boss for a lot of you. You just don't let things get to you. They don't know how you, because they feel like if they'd gone through the things that you'd gone through, they wouldn't be able to move past it. But they see you as being so resilient, and somehow, like, it's like things don't even affect you. Yeah, I'm hearing stronger. No, that don't kill me can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now because I can't wait much longer. Yeah, people see that, like, some people from your past are noticing that they couldn't keep up with you. So they tried to knock you down a peg to get you on their level. The thing is, they also noticed that you would have taken them with you. Like, that's part of why you're so abundant, is because you're so generous. It's part of why you have so much energy. It's like the divine gives you energy to share with others. You're just built that way. And, you know, as long as people are loyal and want to, like, help contribute in their respective ways, like, you don't think you're better. Like, you understand, you just have, you know, this certain strength, but you see and respect other people's strengths too. But they felt lesser than in your company. And they're noticing that the more people betrayed you based on that, all it did was fuel you up even more. Like, you had your moments where you felt down and out, and maybe you were like overindulging and felt a little bit lost, but it was short-lived. And in the end, all it made you do was understand yourself more and become more resilient in your mind, in your vision, and to elevate, to get more organized. Because in the past, it was just sheer work, effort, and audacity. And it was like, you would bring others along and they would work with you and they would help you, but secretly they were jealous. Like the people who would help you in your path. And so when they betrayed you, they didn't want you to let them go. They wanted you to, they wanted to feel like they were on your level, because they didn't feel like they were on your level. You didn't see levels. You were just like, look, we're building this together so it can benefit everyone and whatever. And, and you just took the initiative. They felt like you were, better than them. So they were trying to knock you down. And they were like, oh, they need me because they're so disorganized without me. All they do is just bull through things. Well, ironically speaking, all that made you do was develop the qualities that they were judging you for not having. It's not that you didn't have the capacity for it. You just wanted to have a sense of community around your ambition. Trifling. Anyways, let's get into let's get an animal oracle message. That doesn't have to resonate with everyone if it's not your message. Pick another reading. I'm sure you will find something on this channel that will speak to your soul. If you were drawn here, it's for a reason. And if this wasn't the reason, keep on searching. All right. So what is the highest divine truth, wisdom, clarity, and insight from pile number 2? What are people noticing about my pile number 2s? All right. Duck knowing. I got 2 for you. Bluebird pleasure and duck knowing. People see that you've stepped into a new reality. You've made a quantum leap, whereas in the past, you always wanted to be in this place. There were so many things to flesh out, to work on. You knew that, and you were doing the work. And people are noticing that when the bad people left your life, you were able to put the final touches on this manifestation, and that it really came in. Because it was the codependency of you feeling like you needed them, them trying to make you feel like you needed them. And in that, the both of you not being able to step into your own, And they were thinking that you had just as much work to do on yourself as them, or maybe they were trying to delude themselves, but you were not the same. Because in trying to like sabotage you or pull you down, they had so much more work to do on themselves, because they weren't putting their efforts into improving themselves or anything. They were putting effort into degrading things, while you were putting your effort into building something and contributing to a team. That's the kind of benefit that you got, and just needed a little tweaking. Whereas they have not planted the seeds that sprout positivity, because they were planting seeds of negativity. All right, let's read these. You already know enough to guide others, duck, knowing. Although the duck has many natural predators, they approach life with a calm alertness, ready to fly, run, paddle, or duck underwater to safety at any moment. Ducks are connected to the earth by their need for water and water-loving plants. Their omnivorous diet consists mostly of algae, plants, fish, insects, worms, amphibians, and grasses that are found in and around water. Renowned for their intercontinental migrations, ducks use an instinctive internal barometer to know the precise moment at which to change locations for the maximum benefit of their species. Not only do they flow in harmony with the seasons, they trust their intuition above all else to guide their next moves. Sorry, I have to... Where should I start from? Renowned for their intercontinental migrations, ducks use an instinctive internal barometer to know the precise moment at which to change locations for the maximum benefit of their species. Not only do they flow in harmony with the seasons, they trust their intuition above all else to guide their next moves. Ducks migrate in family groups, remaining in the same flying formation from takeoff to landing. The young ducklings learn the lay of the land through teachings passed down from their parents, allowing them to memorize landmarks for future reference. This can be interpreted as a reminder that no matter where you're called to go, you can still find peace in knowing that you always have a home to return to, providing your spirit with much needed security and familiarity it craves. Ducks have a waterproof plumage, which allows for maximum buoyancy and enables them to move effortlessly along the surface of the water. They teach us to avoid taking on too much emotional baggage that will inevitably weigh us down as we move through life. Instead, we should stay in control by focusing on our strengths whilst pedaling forward with conviction and grace. So I see that people are seeing you in this duck archetype. They're noticing that you have this internal type of barometer about life, and that's what has helped you to get to the place that you are now. You're very adaptable, and they feel a sense of home with you. They know that you provide that energy about yourself. And so they notice that about who you are, and I think this one has to do with the place that you're in your life and kind of the rewards you're currently reaping. So let's read that one as well. Sorry for the interruption in the middle of that message as well. All right, so number 41, pleasure, the bluebird. Pleasure and happiness is felt when we can freely express our feelings and have our intentions clearly communicated to others. The bluebird has long been a symbol of happiness and beauty and is considered a messenger from the heavens. This small insect-eating bird can often be territorial and is known for his beautiful ability to sing captivating songs whilst flapping his wings to attract female attention and communicate his desires. In many cultures, even more recent writings, the bluebird has been referenced as a messenger for hope and as a sign that loved ones are present. There are many songs that even reference the bluebird as well as commonly used expressions to sing the blues or feeling blue, leaving a sense that this bird and our emotional health are intrinsically linked. Blue, the color of the throat chakra, is the most dominant physical characteristic of this bird, a color associated with communication, emotional depth, peace, love, truth, and kindness. We can draw parallels to this feature in that when this bird sings to communicate his intentions to another, perhaps he's reminding us that the best way we can process, explore, and further communicate our desires, feelings, and intentions is through our creative expressions, writing, speaking, and through music. He reminds us that we have the ability to express ourselves freely and heal ourselves emotionally through communication and self-expression. A healthy and balanced emotional state is one where we find peace and clarity in being truly heard by those we love, and being able to communicate our intentions clearly and openly. The pleasure is truly felt through the emotional energy exchange between ourselves and thus reflected back to us from others. So people are noticing that it took the courage of being honest with yourself to let go of these negative influences in your life, to learn how to communicate your needs more effectively. And it's amplified you to become the main character in your own life. In such a way that there's more harmony and joy and pleasure in your interactions with others. And finally, the ones who were left in the past are singing the blues. They're really missing you. And they feel like they no longer have that sense of home that you kind of provided with your energy. Any final messages? What are the final messages for my pile number 2s? What are people noticing about pile number 2? What are people noticing about pile 2? What are people noticing about pile 2? What are people noticing about pile 2? People are realizing that you've left this sense of competition in the past. And now it's just about there was so much energy that was kind of allocated towards these conflicts that people were bringing to you. And so now that you no longer have that, you're able to put that energy into so much more. All right, pile number 2, that's all I have for you today. Please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you'd like to enter for a chance to win a free one-on-one reading, just make sure you're subscribed. Comment down below that you'd like to enter. And I will see you next time. Bye.